Hi, I'm Shelley McDonald on WatchMojo.com, and I'm about to show you some exercises with the Bosu Balance Trainer. We're going to do some upper body, some core, and some lower body training today. The first exercise I'm going to show you is the basic squat. Foot positioning is really key on the Bosu. You want to think about centering yourself by putting your instep around the second ring of the Bosu, and try to keep your feet as flat as possible, although if you feel like you're losing your balance, it helps to push your toes a little forward. Shoulders down, long neck to keep that neutral spine, and then you're just gonna squat. And you can progress to going a little bit lower. And then, the great thing about the Bosu is that you can turn it over to make it even better challenge. So how I like to get up on this thing is step in the middle and then come up really quickly, and then you slide your feet out so that they're about hip distance apart, and then you try to level out. Now sometimes this is going to happen, that's normal, and then it's just a squat. And eventually, it'll get so that you don't get too much wobble at all. Then, to get off, you lean, cross over. So the next exercise is the abdominal curl, abdominal crunch, sit up, whichever one you're calling it. And there is a way to progress with this one. But first and foremost, what you want to remember to do is called abdominal bracing. And it's relatively new in the fitness industry to be discussing this, but it has to do with stabilizing the spine before you start moving. And it's really to protect the back. So what it is firing up this muscle that runs across here, the transverse abdominis. And basically you just have to give it a mild little squeeze and then hold it like that while you're doing your sit-up. So we're gonna try to remember that when we're doing it. Now, first position is bringing those hips lower to the ground. Abdominal brace, and then just back and lift. Now you'll notice there's no hip movement. Common mistake in people is they start to rock. This is a lot of momentum and actually deactivates a lot of the ab muscles. And then as you get a little bit better, you come up a little higher, again abdominal brace, chin back, and your hands come to here. And you're very much isolating those abdominal muscles. And then you can progress to a bigger lever by opening up those arms above the head and doing it that way. And that's your abdominal curl. Okay, so now we're gonna do a push-up. Basically, you can grab the Bosu by the edges if it's a little easier, or you can just simply place your hands on the Bosu. Now for a little bit easier positioning, hands grab the side, and make sure that when you're doing your push-up, your elbows stay behind you, because a common mistake is the elbows ride up, and that can cause shoulder impingement. So just like a push-up, you want to pivot around the knee joint. And then as you feel like you're getting a little stronger, you can bring those hands in and come up on the toes. And then when you really feel like you want to challenge, you lift that foot up. Et voila, the push-up. Okay, so a great exercise for core stability and lower back training is called the opposite arm leg raise. So you want to start hands on the floor so you have a little bit of stable surface, and your knees up on the Bosu, about hip distance apart. And then start with the leg coming up first and then the arm. And then bring it in and then switch. The idea is to hold that neutral spine, which means holding your back in a way that it would be if you were standing. Then you progress to this, coming right up on the Bosu, both hands and feet, and then stretching out. Try to do as many as you can well until you're fatigued and feel you've had enough.